Hello, and today I'm going to be continuing my blog about VBS. I'm not even going to do a recap. Basically, I will do briefly what happened the fifth day. Basically, what happened is everything ended. I won somehow at something I shouldn't have won. Watched the last one to see what it was. And basically, at the end, my mother's like, "Oh, we gotta stay after and clean up." And I'm like, "Okay, what am I gonna do?" Yeah, the thing is, a lot of other parents there also do that. The thing is, a lot of them, I don't think there's a single one who does not have a child. And they only work there because they have a child, probably. It might help out even though, but I think that's just a thing parents do. When a kid does something like go to a school, like, oh, maybe I don't want a whole bunch of weirdos around my kids, so I'll go to school and do something there so nothing bad or dumb happens, and I don't have to drive 1 hour to get to their school and save them because they broke their leg. But I've never had this happen, so I don't really know. But I'm assuming that is one reason, and my mother has worked in childcare before. She used to do that for my old church. So, but the bad thing is, a lot of people have children there, and a lot of them, instead of having a second parent, which apparently never happens, or the second parent is there, and they also work. So, yeah. Basically, almost every person I talked about in the last one I did would be here, which is just terrible. Since if you remember what I talked about in the last time, or you watched it, because I know a lot of people watch the end of the series or just watch one episode on YouTube. Hopefully this gets recommended on the algorithm. Well, anyway, yeah, everyone there I already know. It's not like just a whole bunch of random kids there. I don't know. So basically, for the most of it, I had to stand on a skateboard and I mocked someone several times and then mocked other people too. So it was photos. No, not sure I said poto. It was photos. So I was like, oh, bunny ears. But it went more drastic because everyone's like, oh yeah, they're doing a photo. Why don't we do a photo too? And I'm like, oh, I could mess this up too, couldn't I? And I end up messing up 3 things on purpose. But basically, it's just me grabbing items and throwing them in the kids' place until eventually, I'm sorry for my finger being the camera. I'm using this on a phone, so I'm just holding it normally. I don't want to hold my phone more upwards because I'm not recording a lot. Well, basically, what happens is all the kids go into the 4-year-old room for some reason. Well, even the 4-year-old room. That was 18 to 3 months. Also, why does anyone say 18 months? It's 12 months. 12 months is a year. They'll be a year old. Why don't you just say a year and 6 months old to 3? But no, 18 months. Why? Why didn't you? It just doesn't make any sense. But anyway, all the kids went in there pretty much, besides me, who randomly went around and did chaos pretty much. What did I do? More evil things, because having done evil things the entirety of VBS, I'm like, hey, This is the last chance I get to be evil at VBS. So just do everything evil I possibly can right now, and evil things will happen, and I'll just be like, whoa, yay, the evilness is spreading. So basically, after VB, it's just like 1, maybe 2 hours. Not even that. Excuse me. Asthmatic. Well, basically, I'm running around figuring out how I can be evil. Eventually, everyone goes into that room. And they're playing nursery, and they're like, oh, yep, you be the coworker. And I'm like, okay. It was supposed to be like a baby sitting place. And they made some weird plot that I often divert from to do evil things. Then a lot of other people came in and are like, oh, yes. So basically, this person is going to walk into the room. And they're going to be like an inspector. And Ton is going to go beat up the villain, who is me, because I asked to be the villain. But they didn't actually beat me up. They actually did, but that's later in the story. They're like, oh yeah, they're going to be fake fighting in there while they try to steal in, while they get in. And they're like, wait, so everything like that is going to be happening when I walk in. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm trying to spy, and then because, Ton's obviously expecting for the act to come up. I'm like, oh no, I wasn't trying to do this. And now comes out the door, and I'm like, oh no. And then there's the game where they throw me on the dumpster or something like that. And they just push me into a room that has people in it and multiple exits. So I just do the whole routine again. And then I'm just walking around. I don't remember, but for some reason someone threw wet socks at me. I don't know. And I just carried the socks through, waiting to find out who did it so I could hit them back with the wet socks and throw them at them again. Eventually, I'm walking in, I'm like, why? And then everything's more developed into chaos. I'm like, can I be the villain? I'm like, no, you're going to be in a chair tied up with a pacifier in your mouth. And I'm like, what? And for some reason, I don't know, that everyone just becomes violent. I mean, like, straight up violent. Like, hitting people violent. Like, it was just weird. And I'm like, no. And I dash make my escape, and I'm like, bye, peace. I'm going to get massive revenge on you. So I come in next time, and then there's, who I'm going to say Char. And they're like, oh, go beat them up, Go beat them up. And I'm like, oh, yeah, he knows karate. Run, stop the water fountain. Yeah. I just ran down the halls repeatedly that also at the time were wet. Just want to say that too. So I'm just wandering around the place, whole bunch, trying to annoy them by like doing this on the door that was like lockish. Oh yeah, to scare them. I did that a lot of time before I even came in there. No, I did it after I left the first time. And basically, everything is chaos by that point. I'm just walking. I see Bentley and it's like, oh, we gotta go leave. But we don't leave. We spend like 10 more minutes there not leaving. Which like always happens at stuff like this. They're like, oh, yeah, let's leave. 10 minutes later, well, actually, you didn't think about this, Miss Bernay. I'm like, you said we were leaving 10 minutes ago. I'm like, why are we still here? Because I'm that child. I'm not normally the troublemaking child. I'm the child who, when the parent says something like, okay, but then they never do it because they don't have a sense of timing, apparently. Or I have too much of a sense of timing. I'm like, oh, we're leaving? Run into the door. But when other people say they're leaving, they're like, oh, yes, goodbye for like 5 minutes. I don't care about goodbyes. I don't like anybody. I don't like the human race in general. So, basically, we stay there. And apparently, there's some whole drama that for some reason they were playing nursery. And of course, Pon was the baby, and they were trying to give him a pacifier. And then he goes to his mom and like, they hurt my teeth. And then, sorry. I know what happened. Maybe an allergy got to me. Well, basically, what happens then is they said two kids hurt his teeth by pushing like a block and saying he was a pacifier in his mouth. And then, for some reason, Shelb, how I'm gonna call it. Also, there's only one letter missing from that. Is gets the kids and apologize to my son for hitting him in the teeth. And then they apologize and he's like, for what? And then apparently they really didn't do anything. He was just like saying it. It's like me being like, oh yeah, that person pushed me. And Mom was like, oh, they pushed you? That's so bad. I'm like, not really. I was being annoying the entire day. I actually had the purpose of doing that the entire day. It wasn't that bad. I was trying to annoy them. And I'm actually sort of glad they got semi-mad at me. And I don't really they were mad at me. And my mom was like, that's so bad? I'm like, nah. But for some reason, Shelby thinks they're being suggestive or something I don't understand. And I'm not going to talk much about that because one, I don't understand. And two, I don't think YouTube is going to allow me to say stuff similar into that genre. And I'm trying to keep it kid friendly. So apparently they got mad at him and did a whole rant. C-A-R-E-N. Did a whole rant. About it. And got mad at their children. Which, who does that one? The children weren't even that mean. Your son didn't care. Also, your son is a loser. Did you only get mad at other kids? So, yeah, that happens. And then it's finally time for me just to go through the doors. And leave. Because it's that hard to go leave a area, apparently. Also, VBS, which was supposed to be 5 days, was more 9 days, pretty much. Because I spent Friday there. Then I spent Sunday there. And then, this is the Sunday before VBS. And then, we were supposed to go to a movie there, but I didn't go because I thought the movie was one bad. And apparently, when they said they were going to start the movie, they waited 2 hours afterwards. So it get dark. You don't have to watch a movie at dark. It's supposed to be a theater, yeah, but you can just turn the movie on. And, really? 1, 2? That's 2 days of VBS. And then it's actually VBS, which is 5. 5. That's 7 days already. Then I have the 6th special day in the midst of the 5 day. 8. Then I have to go to a pool party, which a lot of the same kids were there. Just gladly, Abe was not. And that is day 9. And then I had to go back to church, and it was day 10. So I pretty much stayed 3 days over a week of VBS when VBS is supposed to be 5 days. And the only reason why this is because my parents are helpers, and I have to go to Sunday, and I'm a Christian. But the scheduling is terrible. Makes me angry. Like, why didn't they just start VBS on Sunday and end it right before Friday? Wouldn't that just been smarter instead of having to go to 6 days of Sunday and then wait a day, or in my case, go to a pool party with most of the same kids there and then go again? I'm like, wouldn't it be easier to wait 2 days and just combine one day and minus the day that would have been it, but now it's not? Like, it's pretty simple. Also, I didn't see my nephew on Saturday. Even though we specifically did not take him to the pool party, apparently they're there because my father needed help on the breaks. So I hid in the bathroom, then I hid in the schoolroom, and then I hid outside. But it took like an hour, so there's no real point. It was an hour after I stopped hiding. So, yeah. That was my journey at VBS. Pretty much 10 days. I think I might go over the summary. So you'll be getting 7 videos, like a musical theme song for VBS and the misadventures of it. Misadventures of VBS. Vacation Bible School. Ready, set, move, yay! So, yeah. That's pretty much it. Also, sorry for my finger there. I guess I don't know. Because I didn't do it. Well, the summary is basically going to be about all the other days that I pretty much had to go to, which were also pretty weird, to say the least. At least Sunday was good. No, Sunday wasn't good. That was like every other Sunday. But, well, I'll do a plot summary. This is the end.